the reason why we're even getting into, and I'll just go ahead and bring it up on screen, this little game right here, known as Monster Hunter World, is because recently Monster Hunter Wild beta came out and it ignited something, man. I had played Monster Hunter originally when it came out. Dauntless was kind of like the first thing that got me even thinking about jumping into Monster Hunter. That and God Eater 3, two games that I tried out, didn't really hit for me. Dauntless was all right, but nonetheless, Monster Hunter World, it dropped. I had some interest in Monster Hunter previously, but I never took it like overly serious. I did end up beating the original game on Xbox, right? And was a great time. Now, during that time, I didn't quite realize what the end game of Monster Hunter really was, right? I am somebody who tends to throw myself into the worlds of these games a lot of the time, right? Whether you're talking about Souls-like games, action-adventure games, even some story games, depending on what they are. I throw myself into these worlds and kind of get involved in it for quite some time. MMOs are big for me on that. And I don't play all of them, right? I'm really picky about the certain ones that I've played. I consider Phantasy Star Online somewhat of an MMO, but mostly Black Desert Online is kind of was one of my main forays as of late, right? But it's neither here or there. Point being is I didn't really know what Monster Hunter was all about at that time. You know, I beat the game. I thought that was kind of it. And come to find out there was more to be had, right? Which I didn't really come to understand until Monster Hunter Rise came out. It dropped on PC because it came out on Switch first. And then it came out on PC. And that gave me a little bit, I wouldn't even say a little bit. It gave me a different perspective because it is more straight monster, you know, straight to the action kind of thing. But it helped me understand like what the end game is supposed to be about, right? I dropped off of Monster Hunter World the first time before the first DLC for World even came out. I want to say even before the first like major big update for World even came out. So it was a lot of content that I missed out on. I did jump back in on PC because again, played it originally on Xbox, jumped back in on PC to just try it out, see what the differences were, see how it felt. Wanted to play Iceborne because I never played the expansion. And what I ended up doing was I played for a little bit in the base world, and then I ended up getting a save file, and that kind of just put me like right at the start of Iceborne, basically setting me up pretty well. And I played it for a little bit, but there was something else that came along, kind of pulled my attention away, and I didn't fully jump back in, I should say. With Monster Hunter Wilds, right, because I do have this newfound appreciation for Monster Hunter in totality, for Monster Hunter Wilds, when I jumped into the demo, and mind you, I'm not like the demo dude, right? It's like I'm not looking for every single demo that comes out, but for certain games that really have my attention or are interesting to me, I may check them out. So I ended up checking out Monster Hunter Wilds. I wanted to do a 6-hour stream. It didn't end up being that long, but nonetheless, in the 3 hours, which is also on the show, right? All of this that I'm going to do is going to be in a central playlist called Journey from World to Wilds. So that video is also in this same playlist for those who are interested, if you want to check that out. I ended up playing the dual blades in there as well, because that is what I'm going to start with when Wilds drops. Dual blades, I'm going to do bow as my offhand. But what ended up happening in the 3 hours that I spent playing, something clicked for me, right? Because I also have this thing to where I won't fully throw myself into a demo because I know that stuff won't carry over. So once I played those few hours, I kind of stopped and was like, oh man, I see where this is going, right? And I started kind of contemplating. I was like, damn, I really like that. I know the progression's not going to be there. Now that I'm interested in like really wanting to play Monster Hunter again, especially with what Wilds were presenting with the open world, which is something that, again, Monster Hunter World, I felt did really well. I know some people feel up and down about that. A lot of people are more so focused on the combat of Monster Hunter, right? Which is, I know that's always been a traditional thing for the IP, right? I think Worlds, at least in my perspective and what I've seen other people say as well, focus on more so of the hunt, right? The overall, again, no pun intended, worlds of Monster Hunter, right? Really giving you something to traverse and feel like you're in that ecosystem, learning about the monsters, adapting to them, traversing this space, right? So Wilds not is, I think, iterates on that in such a way that is extremely impressive, especially when you see that it's not this stop, you got to leave here, start here, do all this. Everything is so included, it's so inclusive, that it just felt really dope, right? Even in what takes that to the next level as well is that crossplay is also going to be a part of Wilds, which is going to be a first for Monster Hunter. That's going to open up a lot of dope doors, I think, a lot of opportunity for a lot of different people to play together. So I wanted to do something. I don't know if it's necessarily different, but I wanted to do a little bit something because, like I mentioned on Living Split Screen, I wanted to do a journey from world to wilds, right? And excuse me if I'm like stuttering over my words and trying to figure it out. But I wanted to do a journey from world to wilds, man, because of that newfound kind of energy that Wilds kind of gave me, man. And I want to use this as a kind of like a basis for other things that I got going on personally as well, right? Whether it be my self-progression, little things here and there, maybe getting back into working out and whatnot, just in my own time behind the scenes, and just kind of holding myself kind of accountable to this newfound schedule that I want to kind of create, right? You got to kind of cause ripples in the ocean sometimes to get water to move, right? And at least in the directions that you would like to see it to go. So I want to use this as a base for that and take people on a journey with me from world to wilds. And hopefully my intention is to build up a community, build up a group, build up a guild, clan, whatever you want to call it, of people that not only support what I'm, the experience that I'm taking y'all through, but also that appreciate Live at Split Screen and everything that we do, which is part of the reason why it is on Live at Split Screen and my personal channel on Twitch. I want to grow the Twitch channel for myself. I didn't want to completely take over Monster Hunter, but again, completely have Monster Hunter take over Live at Split Screen. But that's also why I have it in its own playlist, right? So anybody that comes to the channel, you can know exactly what you're tuning into and kind of can go from there. But again, I wanted to kind of use this as a motivation piece because when Monster Hunter Wilds comes out, I do want to jump into that full board, right? I think the wife might end up wanting to jump in there. She jumped into Monster Hunter World 2 after I did. So we never had that opportunity to really play together in there. And that is something that has been always super dope to me because back in the day, she was one of the reasons why I even played like great games like Army of Two as an example. Never would have played that game if it wouldn't have been for her kind of putting that suggestion out there. And I think going into Monster Hunter Wilds, especially with it being crossplay, there's a lot of other barriers that get knocked down that I think is going to leave a lot of dope opportunities. So you're going to end up seeing my main character. I did end up modeling my main character after the wife as well. It's kind of the same thing that I did with Dragon's Dogma, right? I have my main character, then my main pawn, I modeled after my wife. Cause I just think that's a dope concept. And in Monster Hunter World, at least from what I remember, the female characters had better customization, which I always find weird. Like, why do the male characters not have like all the options or like have better options in some of these games? But nonetheless, I am also playing with cosmetic mods. Again, that's in the thumbnail as well. I'm probably going to put that on every thumbnail moving forward so people kind of know what's going on. But it's nothing that's going to mess up the progression of the game. It's nothing that's going to enhance I'm not going to say enhance because cosmetics enhance the experience, at least to me. But it's nothing that's going to be like what you would consider a cheat, right? there are some customization options that I also additionally gave myself. And then if you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments below, and I can add a little, I can either add that into the description or maybe pop it up in the video for whatever, if you want to see the different mods that I've used and everything. But mainly, it's been a reshade and cosmetic mods. I got a complete pack of different outfits and stuff like that for the armors and whatnot. So things are probably going to look a lot different from what I remember, from what you probably remember. And I think that's going to be also add a dope value to the experience as well, because I was tempted to play the Guardian set just based off of how it looks. In here, it looks super dope. I might show y'all that when I get in there, but I do plan on selling the Guardian set as well. So again, just so there's no temptation or anything like that. Again, I'm not planning on using it. I do come from that background of more action oriented games. You talking to your Devil May Cries, your Bayonettas, your Niers, your Souls like games, or Souls games in general. Elden Ring being one of the greats, but if that, hopefully that kind of gives you a background of like, I enjoy a challenge. I'm the type of guy that, like, especially when I remember the first time me playing Monster Hunter, you fighting that boss type enemy and learning the moves, learning what you can do, knowing all the weapons in Monster Hunter do feel differently from each other. I think are all super dope things that appeal to me. And I just want to build something off of this and maybe potentially take it to the next level and have it so you have a welcoming audience, right? Or a welcoming group of people that, hey, if I'm on or if other people are on, maybe it helps other people find other people who have similar interests. And yeah, man, we just get into the streaming side of things and get into that Monster Hunter life, man. So kind of been itching for that. So that's kind of the direction where I'm taking this. Hopefully a majority of that made sense. If not, we'll talk more as these streams go on. This is the first episode. I'm just getting off of work. So, of course I've eaten and all the other stuff, and I'm on my coffee now. So we'll see how these things go. This is only being planned to be about a 3-hour show, right? We're doing it from 10 to 1. Maybe I go a little bit longer depending on how I'm feeling. If I don't have a headache or feel tired or anything like that by that time, we'll see. Luckily, I was gonna, and I still will. I gotta work on my truck window at some point. I'll probably end up doing that tomorrow, if possible, just to get it out of the way. But that's neither here or there. Back on the Monster Hunter. So hopefully everybody enjoys this journey from World to Wilds. I think it's going to be super dope. I do plan on being in Iceborne right around Christmas, right? We'll see if we'll be able to make that happen. Oh, my controller ain't connecting. Of course it ain't. Let's reconnect it. But yeah, I plan on being in Iceborne right around Christmas, maybe even before Christmas, depending on how things go. I know why I didn't pick it up. But that's the idea. And mainly, I feel like it just fits the theme. I felt like, man, this is like almost the perfect opportunity to do this, because there's not many games out there, unless you go back to like the First Division as an example, that give you those Christmas vibes. I should have been playing Monster Hunter music in the background the entire time. But hey, this how these things go, man. It's not perfect. Working on it. But yeah, I think that's going to be super dope if I am able to make that happen. It's going to set up things really nicely. Then we can focus on getting that end game grind on in Iceborne. Again, this is going to be about adjusting the skills, getting right, feeling good, and potentially being someone that can be a voice in the Monster Hunter community when Monster Hunter Wilds comes out. If not, for Monster Hunter World, for some people that may be jumping into it. Kind of show you my thought process, how I go through things. I may even pull up some videos, shout out some folks and say, yo, this is where I'm kind of getting this information from. That's the other thing that makes Monster Hunter and games like it so dope, is that the community constantly feeds into itself and just wants to bring everybody on board. So man, it's just super fire. Verg Brizzle, it says, yo, what's going on, Verg? Appreciate you for coming through. And you see it, man. We're about to start this journey, man. First episode, going dual blades, fresh character. I spent an hour literally in the character customization. You're like, yo, Steel, I thought you were doing a fresh journey. I did. I wanted to get the character creator out of the way because, again, I would have spent an hour live making my character because, again, I want my character to look a certain way. But you get the character, the Palico gang, you see what's going on. But I'm literally on the very first mission, haven't done anything additionally, just got to the home base, and we're about to set off. So that's where we are right now, man. But again, like I said, fresh playthrough. So hopefully y'all enjoy the ride, man.